Hi, Ljubljana. Our group is calling in from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and we're happy to be part of Why the World Needs Anthropologist event. My name is Natalie Muyres, and I'm an organizational change leader and project manager working in the private and public sectors in Calgary. I apply anthropological insights as an organizational and design anthropologist.
Hi there, my name is Cora Wood. I am a sustainability practitioner working in the energy sector in Alberta and British Columbia, Canada. I apply anthropology in everyday work to create and find workable sustainability solutions and toward the practice of energy reconciliation with Indigenous people.
And our third colleague, Kai Ap Gwilym, couldn't be with us today. He's a PhD student from the London School of Economics, researching Calgary's political culture and from within liberal democratic political parties. At our event, we focused on anthropologists working outside of academic institutions and discussed the following questions. Are applied anthropologists working outside of academia on the periphery of the discipline in Canada? And if so, are the community's voices and perspectives they represent also on the periphery? How can we improve the line of sight to this periphery? And what are the benefits and implications for the communities and/or the discipline of anthropology to improve the line of sight to this periphery? The goal of our discussion was to explore anthropology as an applied discipline outside of academia. We first met at a restaurant as a group and took notes, had some wine. Once we had some time to synthesize our thoughts, we met a few days later to record this video. Our approach was conversational, using our questions to guide our discussion.
We started our conversation by what it meant to be on the periphery. In this discussion, we identified a nested hierarchy of 3 axes of peripherality that were most relevant to our positions in the field. The most important being our position as settlers on Indigenous land, and then the province of Alberta being situated in a political regional dynamic with the rest of Canada, and then the peripherality of being working anthropologists vis-a-vis the discipline of anthropology in academia.
And in discussing the peripherality of working as anthropologists in industry and outside of the academy, we noted a few things about our positioning. First, we can be criticized for working inside the system that is blamed for the wicked problems we're facing in society. And this is compounded by how Albertans are stereotyped by other Canadians as right-wing, gas-guzzling cowboys, since Alberta is Canada's oil and gas producing province. When it comes to climate change, we are a part of the problem, but that's exactly why we must be part of the solution. And because we're in the system, we have a unique perspective on what can be practically done to solve those wicked problems, as well as a unique responsibility to take concrete action.
We have to confront our responsibilities. I work in an oil and gas company, so I have an ethical responsibility to confront these tensions head on. I like to think of this in terms of a Haraway sense of responsibility, thinking carefully about the response and also our ability to respond. Finally, I think it's important to not refer to ourselves as non-academic anthropologists, but rather as working or professional, applied, or practicing anthropologists. We want to demonstrate where we can work in the world and be recognized for that unique skill set in the working world. This, for me and for many of us in these capacities, is a method of homework or an ethic of homework. We work in the world at home, in our backyards, co-designing alongside our interlocutors to make small or big interventions wherever we can.
So are the people we represent and work with also on the periphery? The answer to this is the classic anthropologist's answer, yes and no. We felt that the periphery is shifting, is fluid, and depends on the context. Here are some examples of our work.
In my own work, pardon me now, in my own work, I've been helping interlocutors to manage and mitigate cumulative effects and cultural impact as we work toward a just energy transition.
And while working in the anti-human trafficking sector, my work brought the voices of survivors of human trafficking and those working on the front lines of the issue together to design and implement new ways of collaborating with data. And through his connections he made with his fieldwork, Kai was able to bring to the party's attention a candidate for the legislature with refugee and ethnic minority background and coach him on how best to present himself to the party using his knowledge of the party's internal discourses.
There was no topic that was debated or controversial per se. Generally, we agreed the need to contribute to the discipline of anthropology and work alongside our fellow academic anthropologists to promote the discipline as fulfilling and meaningful as a career. The reality is that there are not enough academic positions for graduates, so we must work together to secure the future of this discipline. We can improve the line of sight to the peripheries, to these particular peripheries, by continuing to work alongside our interlocutors to find the best methods and channels for sharing important stories being told and interventions being acted upon that we are collectively making. These may take different forms than academic publications, and we can participate in creating those channels together.
So as conclusion, by the end of our discussion, we all agreed that we will continue to meet and explore ways to build a network of anthropologists to share our work and challenges, learn from each other, and contribute to the discipline while working to solve society's wicked problems. Thank you for the opportunity to share our conversation with the audience of WWNA. We hope our discussion inspires you as much as it did us. It was great to be a part of this, and we look forward to seeing what others have discussed and have to share.
Bye.
And goodbye from Kai. We did want to contribute to two of the interview questions. The first one, if you could continue in a discussion, what topic or question would you explore next? We will be continuing this conversation, and hopefully we'll be able to share more with you all in the future about how we plan to expand the channels and promote our work. The second question was, if your event had a theme song, what would it be? Freedom by Wham. At one point, this song was playing in the restaurant and we all took notice. We thought it was fitting and it became our theme song. In Alberta, where we live and work, freedom is a common rhetorical concept used in articulating Alberta's identity vis-a-vis the rest of Canada. But we also thought it was a fitting theme song since it could also stand for our freedom to speculate in our discipline to make our voices heard. Thank you.
Thank you.